Hello and welcome, I'm Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's talk about stability in EU4. So stability is a little bit different than in EU3. You have 3 levels, positive, and 3 levels that can go negative. You start off the game in most cases at 0 stability. Each level of stability is multiplied by the following. So if we're at level 1 stability, we would get 1% increased global trade power, 5% increased national spy defense, and in addition, we would get 1% negative revolt risk, 10% increased national tax modifier. That is the number that goes here on taxation. We would also gain 1% increased missionary strength. That could go all the way up to 3x. So you could end up with 3 global trade power, 15% increased spy defense, a decrease of 3 revolt risk, 30% increased taxation, and 3% missionary strength. It's worse on the negative side, though. If we start going negative, then you end up getting negative 1% global trade power, negative 5% spy defense, and negative 2 revolt risk, or plus 2 in this case. 2 revolt risk per point, plus 1 interest per point, and minus 1 yearly legitimacy. So worst case scenario, if you're at negative 3 stability, you would end up at negative 3% global trade power, negative 15% national spy defense, plus 6% revolt risk, plus 3% interest per annum on your loans, and then minus 3 yearly legitimacy. Now your legitimacy score is tied to national revolt risk, so the problem is that if you're really unstable, your legitimacy starts to go down. You start getting a cascade effect where you have multiple things increasing revolt risk. It can get very nasty very quickly. So let's talk about how stability changes over time. Occasionally you'll get a mission which will increase your stability. If you were to do certain things, those give you 1 stability point. Randomly, the game may throw an event at you which just makes your stability go down by 1 point. When your ruler dies, there's a chance you could lose some stability. When your ruler is killed in combat, if you make him into a general, you can lose stability. One of the ways that is possible to lower stability, but I don't think is very common, is to declare wars without a casus belli. If you just attack someone without fabricating a claim or having a reason to attack them, you'll have minus 2 stability. Now we could, for instance, attack the Congo directly with no casus belli if we really wanted to get those slaves quickly, but you'd be better off creating a colony, then fabricating a claim, and then attacking. But if you really wanted to get a rushed start, for instance, on Africa, or maybe even on people that are abroad, you can attack without casus belli. In general, you want to try to keep it as high as possible because the income effect is huge. Getting plus 30% increased taxation is a huge bonus to your income. So that's basically how stability works. You can directly boost it by spending administrative power. There's only one issue with that, and that is that stability has a tendency of going down. As soon as you get it up to level 3, you'll end up getting the event that lowers it to 2. It always seems to happen. But you can do your best to try to keep it as high as possible. Trying to keep it around 2 or 3 is a good number. I usually try to stay at 2. I usually don't like to buy level 3 because there are events or missions that can raise it to 3 for free. And if you're already at level 3, then you don't get anything by those events. So sometimes you're better off staying at about 2 and not buying your way up to all the way to 3. Your cost for increasing stability is increased by things like religious unity and overextension. So if you're overextended, it's more costly to increase stability. And if you have religious unity issues, meaning that you've got foreign people, we've got some Sunni in Portugal here, that increases the cost for purchasing stability. So you're usually going to want to fix these problems before you end up trying to increase stability. So usually the pattern is you get everything nice and stable, and then you go on some conquest, and then you missionary convert it, and then you get rid of the overextension by coring it, and if your stability was decreased due to events, you wait until all of that has happened, and then you go back and you increase your stability again. So that's how stability works. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again in the next video.